town hall in Haverford, Pennsylvania. A 15-year-old girl, the only person in the audience, by the way, wearing a bright red bow on her head for easy identification, was supposedly chosen at random to ask a question of the former Secretary of State. Before we get into what the girl said and the question she posed, here's how she was randomly chosen.
I would love to take some questions from all of you. What do you guys want to hear from Hillary and Chelsea today? How about you with a little red bow first? How you doing? Hi.
And I think there'll be a microphone coming right to you.
But the well-scripted performance raised some suspicion with a YouTuber named Spanglevision, who decided to dig a little bit deeper. And wouldn't you know it, the random participant was none other than child actor Brennan Leach, who has her own Internet Movie Database page with, check this out, 2 logged entries. One in mini bio which reads, Brennan Leach is an actress known for Once Upon a Time, Trillium Vane. Guys, this is a creepy cultic fantasy film she did back in 2012 when she was about 11 years old. The other entry is logged in trivia, which reads, and get this, Brennan Leach played Girl with Little Red Bow in Hillary's town hall event at Haverford, Pennsylvania. If that's not in your face, guys, I don't know what is. Oh, and Brennan's dad? Well, he just so happens to be Pennsylvania Democratic State Senator Dalen Leach. Dalen supports Hillary for president. I know, you're shocked. Dalen Leach, by the way, according to OpenSecrets.org, didn't just donate his daughter to the Clinton campaign, but cut a check for $1,000 for Hillary's political effort back in April. So here was the original question straight from Brennan.
Hi, Madam Secretary. I'm Brennan and I'm 15 years old. At my school, body image is a really big issue for girls my age. I see with my own eyes the damage Donald Trump does when he talks about women and how they look.
Alicia is like me and like a lot of other people. I love to eat. We all love to eat. A lot of you folks have weight problems, I hate to tell you. A lot of you folks that I'm looking at right now aren't in the greatest of shape. And the truth is, and I'm not meaning that you're too skinny.
As the first female president, how would you undo some of that damage and help girls understand that they are so much more than just what they look like?
Ah, ain't she cute and articulate? The question, according to the New York Times, was so good that it, quote, seemed to play to Mrs. Clinton's strengths as the candidate appeared ready to rocket out of her seat at a chance to answer it, end quote. Of course it played to Mrs. Clinton's strengths. That's what Hillary's staged and scripted events are designed to do. Now you gotta admit, guys, things have to be pretty bad over at Camp Hillary for them to resort to hiring shills to prop up their candidate. But the New York Times also unwittingly drove the final nail into the fabricated coffin by exposing the staged nature of this particular town hall question when it wrote, quote, after the event, Brennan said that her father, a state senator, had helped her form the question that had so excited Mrs. Clinton. The Clinton campaign said the questions had not been vetted, end quote. Now let that sink in, guys, because we're going to deal with that in a second. Now here's a younger Brennan as she makes her debut stumping for her gun-grabbing dad's campaign. In this same video, Brennan hails Slick Willie as a great guy and a great man.
He seems like a great guy. As a great man once said,
don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
Back to Clinton's town hall stage scene. What we're supposed to believe is that the announcer just so happened to pick a random girl out of the audience who just so happened to be the daughter of a Democratic pro-Hillary financial supporter who just so happened to have written for his daughter a well-formulated anti-Trump question that allowed Hillary to play on the emotions of bullied children and their parents. I'm sure this is all just a huge coincidence. Hey Hillary supporters, you keep on getting played for fools. How do you guys feel about that? The New York Times went on to report, quote, Brennan said she had lost a friend to suicide last year. Mr. Trump's candidacy, Brennan said, has heightened her concerns at school, end quote. They also reported the teenager as saying, it's really hard for me throughout school to see the pain Donald Trump inflicts on my friends, citing examples of bullying, especially at such an insecure time as middle school and high school, end quote. Now, you guys all know that I am not a Trump supporter. I don't support any narcissistic political psychopath who wants a position of power so that he can impose more laws on the masses and cozy up to the criminals in the Federal Reserve banking cartel. But I'll tell you what, this garbage is certainly worthy of the highest ridicule. What the reporter should have asked the Democratic senator's daughter in response to this is it also hard for you throughout school to see the death Hillary Clinton actually inflicted on 4 dead Americans in Benghazi? How about the scores of people who have died in the wake of the Clintons' ascension to power, Brennan? Does that bother you as well? How about when people tell oceans of documented lies like Hillary does? Do you care about that? Now, if the first question by the girl with the bright red bow is staged, it's hard to believe that the following questions were not staged. Because the second question had a woman from the audience suggesting Clinton do something about gun violence, to which Clinton said that
33,000 people a year die from guns.
Then she said,
If something else were killing 33,000 Americans every year, you can bet we would be on the front lines demanding that this disease would stop, it was bad, drug or whatever it might be.
Something else. Now what would that be? What could it possibly be that kills more than 33,000 Americans each year? I don't know. Are you Hillary followers checking your brains at the door? This is easy stuff, guys. 14 times more people die from tobacco than the figure she cites from guns. Anybody out there recall Clinton standing on the front lines going after the tobacco lobby?
If something else were killing 33,000 Americans every year, you can bet we would be on the front lines.
How about this one? 88,000 people die in alcohol-related deaths each year in the U.S. Anybody remember Hillary on the front lines going after companies who produce alcohol?
If something else were killing 33,000 Americans every year, you can bet we would be on the front lines demanding that this disease would stop, it was bad, drug or whatever it might be.
This woman is a hypocrite who says she wants common sense gun regulations when she's already made clear that she wants all the guns.
Australia managed to get away or take away tens of thousands, millions of handguns. And in 1 year, they're all gone. Can we do that? And why, if we can't, why can't we?
You know, Australia is a good example. Certainly the Australian example is worth looking at.
For people who are worried about the Second Amendment, I respect the Second Amendment. Don't believe it when they say that I want to do something to the Second Amendment. That is totally untrue.
The Supreme Court is wrong on the Second Amendment, and I am going to make that case every chance I get.
Don't believe it when they say that I want to do something to the Second Amendment. That is totally untrue.
The Supreme Court is wrong on the Second Amendment.
The third question was asked by a woman who also wanted gun control and made clear that she was a supporter of the terrorist organization known as Black Lives Matter.
I'm a big supporter of Black Lives Matter.
Is this where I should stop and say, just wow? Wow! And for those who still don't think this Hillary Clinton town hall was rigged and stacked with pre-planned actors in order to portray Clinton in her own fabricated light as she peddles her agenda, just briefly consider the last question and the last actor. Her name's Kayla. She and her family, oh, that's them right there, recently appeared in one of Clinton's campaign ads. Kayla, of course, threw out a cream puff question so that Hillary could press home her involvement in the children's health insurance program. Because apparently, if you're a tyrant, but you can convince people that you love kids, everybody will be deceived and love you. Never mind though, that's probably a coincidence too. This is for all you Hillary supporters out there. Why are you turning off your minds and believing this liar and her womanizing, dishonest husband?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Have things really gotten that bad that you would forsake truth and logic and run after the charlatans of our day as they rip from you every last bit of dignity you have left? Or is it that your dignity vanished a long time ago and that's why you're willing to wallow in the mire with whatever filthy pig comes along? Hillary Clinton and Bill and all these political psychopaths are nothing more than pigs.